technology that is built for your every sense. Acer Pure from Acer.
With that, viewers, let's get you the big breaking update that is coming in as far as this bilateral is concerned. Remember, sources have told Times Now that Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, desired to travel together with Prime Minister Narendra Modi from the SCO conference venue to the bilateral meeting hotel, remember, which was situated at a clear distance from that particular venue of the SCO conference. Also saying that President Putin waited for about 10 minutes for Prime Minister Modi so that he could join him. Then both leaders traveled together in his car, conversing on various issues, the picture of which, of course, has now gone viral. They spent another 45 minutes in the car even after reaching the bilateral meeting venue. And after that, both the leaders had a full bilateral meeting which went on for about an hour. Let me go across to Rishabh, my colleague, getting us more on this. Rishabh, these are crucial details when we think about the India-Russia relationship and the kind of friendship that both Prime Minister Modi and President Putin share. The fact that the Russian president waited for the Indian Prime Minister for about 20 minutes to get into the car and have that important conversation reflects where the two countries place their ties and the kind of personal bond that the two leaders share.
Well, definitely, if we talk about President Putin and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, yes, there is a bohemia between the two leaders. And today, what sources suggest that it was not decided, it wasn't pre-decided that both the leaders will travel in the same car to the bilateral location where President Putin was staying, and it was about 40 minutes of distance from the venue of the SCO. And Prime Minister's cavalcade was all ready to take him to the bilaterals, and that's when President Putin his staff communicated to Prime Minister's staff that he wants Prime Minister to travel with him, and that way they will spend more time. So for 40 minutes they were in the same car, and discussions happened between the two leaders, from Alaska to what happened between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Zelensky, what happened between President Putin and President Trump. All these issues were discussed, India-Russia bilaterals were discussed, and then what we are given to understand, even after reaching the venue, remember that visuals came in that the delegation officials were entering the venue, the leaders were not seen. For good 45 minutes after reaching the venue, both the leaders were in the car discussing various issues, from the Russian oil purchase to the tariff to Russia-Ukraine crisis to what happened in Alaska. Everything was discussed. So 40 minutes of drive, 45 minutes again in the car, and then about an hour of delegation level bilateral talk. So all this happened after SCO summit before Prime Minister emplaned for New Delhi. So this meeting, remember, we are also expecting President Putin to be in India in December sometime for the India-Russia annual summit. But before that, almost 2.5 hour meeting that took place between the two leaders in the car, at the venue, and then at the bilateral is something that the world would be very keen to understand what transpired in these 2.5 hours of uninterrupted discussion between the two leaders. Many that we have spoken to suggest that the major discussion was around how to tackle this whole weaponization of tariff. Weaponization of tariff is what we have been discussing since yesterday, Shreya, and now many suggest that Russia, India, China have in a way decided that we will not bow down, we will face this tariff, and we will ensure that using various methods, including diversification of market, we will challenge this tariff. And that is something that is coming out of this SCO, and a small grouping in SCO forum is what we are given to understand. So in a way, this SCO in Taijin will be a turning point in this whole tariff triad that we have seen for last 8 months.
Yeah, fascinating details that are now emerging, Rishabh, of what exactly was happening in Tianjin, where the two leaders met. And as you said, it's going to be interesting to see how Donald Trump reacts to all of these developments. There is, of course, the India-Russia standalone relationship, but